Well, Uncle Dino's in trouble, folks. For anyone who doesn't know, Dean Ambrose, he's been a bad boy. Apparently he's in trouble with WWE Backstage. Gonna give you the news, I'm gonna give my opinions right now. Backstage heat on Dean Ambrose over his Brock Lesnar comments as well as the creative team. Dean Ambrose is reportedly under some hate following his appearance on Stone Cold's podcast last week. The hate is apparently due to how he was negative towards WWE Creative, and it was seen as him being negative towards Vince McMahon and Triple H. It appears that that people in WWE were not happy about Ambrose, about what he said about Brock Lesnar, not wanting to do anything at WrestleMania, and also being a lazy fuck. I just wanted to add that because I'm going to be honest with you, Brock Lesnar was a lazy fuck. I don't give a shit what anyone says, and I've given Dean Ambrose crap in the past. I've given Dean Ambrose his character and stuff, and you know what? Brock Lesnar's no different. Some people seem to think that Brock Lesnar is not under criticism. Yes, he is under criticism because this is a man that should have had an amazing match with Dean Ambrose. I remember I was speaking to a lot of the guys in the YWC, and I was saying I'm looking forward to this. But something in my back of my mind said that this is going to be a lazy fest. This is going to be a few sticks are going to be thrown. There's going to be stuff that's going to be crap happening in it. And it turned out to be true. The match was trash. And that's not Dean Ambrose's fault because he very clearly wanted to do something. You can clearly tell in that podcast that he wanted to do something. Now, by no means am I defending Dean or anything like that, but on this occasion, Dean Ambrose was in the right. He wanted to do something great for that. They were building it up against him and Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar was a lazy fuck. Alright? Let's be honest. Brock Lesnar, he walks in, has a match, gets paid, leaves. And that's fine. You know what I mean? But Dean tried to get in contact with Brock Lesnar and say, listen, we should do this or that or the other. And Dean Ambrose was pretty fucking pissed off before the match. There wasn't any contact between him and Brock, and they just threw sticks at each other, and that was it. And I can understand why Dean Ambrose was pissed off. I can understand why he was very angry. Because how you expected to have a match against a guy in one of the biggest stages of them all in the professional wrestling industry when you're not even communicating with the guy and the guy's just doing nothing. And that's just my personal opinion on that situation. First of all, should Dean have said it in the Stone Cold podcast? I mean, it's entertaining for us to watch, although there was a few cringeworthy moments with Dean, the way he was talking and stuff. So Dean Ambrose isn't away from some criticism from me either. But to make the argument to say, oh, well, Dean should have said this, here's the thing, and I've noticed this, is that guys like Cesaro or many others that are in the locker room, when they open their mouths about WWE, Big Hunter is going to get the shovel and bury them. And honestly, with these latest comments, don't be surprised if Dolph Ziggler wins the championship. Now, personally, my pick is Dean Ambrose, but with the latest news that is happening right now, could WWE say, oh, you don't like the creative team? Oh, look, there's Dolph Ziggler winning the championship. Now, personally, for me, I think that would be wrong if they did that. I think a wrestler should have the right to criticize the creative team because, let's be honest with you, the creative team have been utter garbage for the last fucking 5 years. The creative team haven't been relevant since fucking in 10 years ago. To be quite frank, the creative team has been fucking horrible. You know, and to be honest with you, I think Dean Ambrose has a full right to criticize Brock Lesnar. He has a full right to criticize the creative team and not be punished. When you're in the WWE, you walk on eggshells. Personally, for me, what I caught from that was Dean looked pissed off. Now, I think to a certain degree he was angry, maybe Stone Cold a little bit. But I think something maybe happened prior to that podcast that got him riled up, and that's why he was a little bit like doing that kind of thing, right? Maybe he was a bit riled up, maybe before, maybe something happened Raw. Obviously, he couldn't say what was going to happen, so shit like that. But in my personal belief, looking at this situation, first of all, I do agree with Dean. I believe that Brock all he did was suplexes. And by the way, I know, it might be perceived that I'm bashing Brock Lesnar, but you have to bear in mind this was a street fight. Okay, this was a street fight that could have been awesome. You could have had maybe a Brock Lesnar suplexes him from the top rope onto a fucking table, or you could have done some cool spots. No, rather than that, they hit him with sticks. Suplex, suplex, suplex. 1, 2, 3. Brocky wins. So, personally for me, I do understand Dean's frustration. I can understand where he's coming from this. And, hey, it is what it is. We all know WWE don't want me to talk about this kind of stuff because, let's be honest with you, I provide the news that the other outlets won't do, alright? And I just say this, you hear people, they talk about the product and stuff, and, I really enjoy that, people talk about the product. But what I do is I talk about the real issues that are happening backstage, the issues that, let's face the facts, is a hell of a lot more entertaining than what's happening on the product right now in WWE Raw, or SmackDown for that matter. The news backstage with the Paige situation with Alberto Del Rio, let's be honest with you, that shit's more entertaining than what's happening on the current night. Now, I want to say this before I go. I do believe SummerSlam will be good. I do have a high expectation of it because it's SummerSlam. Now, usually when I do that, the show will suck. So, fingers crossed, hopefully I'm wrong. But I do have a high expectation because this is one of the top 4. People say it's the second biggest. Personally, for me, I think it's the Royal Rumble. First of all, you have, obviously, WrestleMania. Then, for me, personally, it's Royal Rumble. Then it could be SummerSlam. SummerSlam to me, it's big, but it's not as big as a Royal Rumble or remember back when they used to do Elimination Chamber before they replaced it with that fucking shitty Fastlane crap, or Roadblock, or whatever the fuck they call it. But yeah, all in all, guys, I just wanted to say that because of this news. Personally for me, like I said, I think Brock was lazy, personally. But at the same time, maybe he was training for UFC. There's a possibility. However, I believe that Brock should have had constant contact with Dean Ambrose before they went in that match. Because, let's face the facts, you're facing a guy in one of the biggest fucking places in the world. In one of the biggest sold-out stadiums in the world. And you're not having communication with your opponent to talk about what you're going to do. That's a little bit unprofessional in my book. I could be wrong, but in my personal opinion, Brocky was a little bit unprofessional. But Dean Ambrose is no different, his character is, I don't even know what his character is right now. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. A lot of you seem to be liking these videos where I give you the news and then give my opinion, because I'm seeing quite a lack of it in the YWC currently. Most people are talking about the pay-per-views and stuff, so I really want to do something different. I think a lot of you guys are looking for more of that kind of stuff, so I'll continue doing it. I'd like to thank everyone commenting. I do read all your comments, guys. I do reply the odd time, and I do read all your comments. There was a lot of comments last night about, obviously, with Alberto Del Rio and Paige. But anyway, before I go riling off again, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is General Jerry on the General Jerry channel, signing out.